Hey guys, so a lot of you have been asking about what happened when the police came. Now, I'll get into that a little bit, but I have to ask you, please don't get mad at Scott. He's been getting tossed around by shitty people who don't give a flying fuck about him or our family for months now. So he made a bad decision, he knows he made a bad decision, and I'm giving him plenty of shit for it. So, to start with this, I was upset because I'd been getting told for months that I was a shitty parent who was starving my daughter. You guys saw from the blood work, obviously that wasn't true. However, when you have everybody that you know in your life, almost everybody, I'm not going to say everybody, but when you have almost everybody saying that you're a shitty parent, you eventually start to believe it, and I was an idiot for believing it. So, he had this little bug dropped in his ear that it would be easier for him to get Iris back without me here. So on June 6th, Scott and I got into an argument. No, I'm sorry, June 5th. Scott and I got into an argument, and he had agreed that night that if I still wanted to leave in the morning, that I could. So June 6th rolls around, the morning rolls around, and I want to leave. He goes to stop me, and by the way he chooses to stop me is by calling the police. Well, the police come to the house, and I will kind of walk you guys through what happened, more or less. The police came to the house, and as they are here on my front patio, I'm telling them, don't come near me. Don't come near me at all. I was raped by police officers as a child. I have PTSD from being raped, in part by police officers as a child. Do not come near me. Well, they decided, one of them, the female officer, Officer Thomson, decides that she is going to go down the block to make a phone call. She comes back and says, well, the person who I just called said to take you, so we're coming to take you. No, you're not. Officer Thomson, Officer Johnson, I'll have to double check when I look at the paperwork, and Officer Brock decide that they are going to come into my house, storm my house without permission, without probable cause, and without consent. They came into my house and grabbed me. They dragged me across the floor over to the stairs. Now, the entire time this is happening, I'm screaming, don't come near me. I was raped by police. I have PTSD from being raped by police officers as a child. Get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. One of the officers takes my arm and starts bending it back here behind the wall as I am trying to pull myself this way to get away from them, to get to my phone so I can record what's going on. Thankfully, I have cameras in the house, and all three of these officers had body cameras as well. So as this officer is pulling on my arm, I pull myself forward and I go to put my upper teeth against his arm to get him to let go. He didn't let go, but he loosened up his pull. Now, another officer was standing in front of me, holding me by my arm as I'm against the stairs trying to get away from him. He tells me that if I don't stop resisting arrest, that he will pepper spray me. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop trying to get away from you, or something along those lines. Officer Thomson, the female officer, and the officer that was over here pulling my arm back, left the house and walked out of the house so that way the officer who was standing right here could pull out his pepper spray and pepper spray me. Now, he kept standing there holding the pepper spray at my face. And as I started to pull away and crawl away up the stairs, the officer that was over here pepper sprayed me. As I was trying to get away from him, after they came into my house without probable cause, without a warrant, without consent, and without permission. Now, I have a court date on, let me double check the date for you. Is this it? No, this is not it. Of course, I put the paper somewhere. I have a court date coming up for that particular situation. The two male police officers are charging me with second-degree assault after they stormed into my house without a warrant, without permission, without probable cause, and without consent. Here it is. I am being charged with assault in the second degree by Officer Johnson, number 5866, and Officer Brock, number 4017. Both of these officers, I believe, I'm not 100% certain, work at the Baltimore County Precinct number 3. Now, I don't know what can be done. Oh, let me get the date. Sorry. Now, I don't know what can be done and to what extent, but I would like to request that any and all of you who feel like doing so, please call this precinct and ask them why they have their police officers assaulting people with PTSD from being raped by police officers as a child. My court date is on August 29th. Now, I'm not 100% sure which courthouse it's at. There are 2 listed on this subpoena, on this summons. It says District Court of Maryland for Baltimore County, located at 900 Walker Avenue, Catonsville, Maryland 21228. I believe that is the location where this trial is supposed to be held, where I was assaulted by 2 police officers who came into my house without permission and knew. They were told repeatedly that I was raped by police officers as a child. This is the system we are dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. CPS lies to take my daughter, makes her sicker, makes her sick. She wasn't even sick when she was with me, makes her sick. And then when my husband and I, more or less husband, I'm calling him my husband, get into a disagreement and the police are called, they storm my house, assault me, pepper spray me, and oh, by the way, after they pepper sprayed me, I was holding onto the railing over here. One of the officers, I don't know which one, decided to take something heavy and smashed it against my ring finger multiple times to try and get me to let go. I heard one of the officers saying, "How is she still fighting? How is she still holding on?" Then when I get dragged outside with my hands cuffed behind my back, and I'm continuing to repeat the fact that I was raped by police officers as a child, one of the officers, I hope to find out which one, said, "Why didn't you just tase her instead?" This is what they do to people with PTSD from being raped by cops. I can only imagine how horrific it is for people who are of a few skin shades darker than me, and what might have happened if I was a few skin shades darker. But I'm not going there right now. That's going to be dealt with too. Sorry, I'm going to stop pacing. The point is this is going on, and this is unacceptable. No de-escalation methods were taken. Their response was, "I'm going to make a phone call. Okay, I'm going to storm your house now." Now, when I get the police footage of that incident, I will post it here. And I will make sure that each and every one of you cops are held responsible for what you did. And I also think that Precinct 3 needs to be given some better training on how to deal with people who have PTSD, or people in general. I'm trying to get you Officer Thompson's badge number. Give me a second. Apparently, Officer Thomson was the one who filed the complaint, at least according to this. I'm not certain. Officer Thomson was the only one who wasn't assaulted, and yet she's the only one here on this form. Or, I'm sorry, she's the only, it says here, complainant Officer Thomson. She was not the one not even on this as one of the victims of assault. Her officer ID is 5865. So that is Officer Thomson, officer ID 5865. Officer Brock, officer ID 5866. I'm sorry, that was Officer Johnson, 5866. Officer Brock, 4017. All at Baltimore County, Maryland, Franklin Precinct number 3. Now, this isn't going to be my only video today. I have another video. It's going to be fairly short. I'm remembering a couple more things, but I'll get into that later. That's not for this. That's not appropriate for this. But I want them to also know that I will be charging you with assault, trespassing, and whatever else I can come up with to throw at you. So, guys, this is out of control. Our law enforcement is out of control. Gina! Sorry, cat fight. Our law enforcement is out of control. CPS is out of control. It's time that we, the people, put them back under control. They are public servants. They serve us. They don't serve themselves. They don't serve the state. They don't serve anybody but us. And the fact that they're out of control is completely unacceptable and is not going to continue for much longer. Where we go one, we go all.